The age-old question of what to do on dates. Are you a true gentleman and pay? Do you split the bill? What is the right thing to do? Pay for the date because the little money doesn't matter. But don't pay because you don't want to encourage girls to meet up just to get free dinner. There's no definitive right answer, but I'll share a few scenarios and my thoughts on the question. And then you can decide what's best for you moving forward. In my opinion, there are 4 different aspects to consider. Number 1, expensive date equals more and hotter girls. The more value the proposed date has, the more girls will be willing to meet with you. And value can be anything: fun, exciting, or just drinks, or a fancy dinner date. So let's take the example of dinner. If you invite girls to cheap dinner date at a street food stall, a certain percentage of girls will be willing to meet up with you. If you invite girls to fancy dinner at a luxury restaurant, you can expect significantly more girls to say yes to that offer. In that sense, the more you're willing to spend on dates, the wider of a net you are casting. This can give the illusion that you are doing well with girls, when really it is not you but the date itself that attracts the girls. And this leads me to the second discussion point. Fancy dates can possibly encourage gold diggers. Fancy dinner dates, for example, will get you more girls in general and more attractive girls as well. But there is a problem. The more you offer on a first date, the more difficult it is to determine if the girl is genuinely interested in you. Now, the opposite is also true. If you strip away all the exciting parts, any girl that meets up with you, you can be pretty much sure that she's showing up because she really likes you. Now, this is why I like very basic dates. Think, walks in the park, going to a market, going to a night market, etc. A girl who meets up with you for some boring stuff really likes you and wants to meet with you. It is very unlikely that there's an ulterior motive, and the looking for money aspect, in my opinion, that many guys worry about is also limited for the most part. Unless, and this would be incredibly rare, that a girl is playing a long game where even though you're just walking with her in the park, she's setting this up so that eventually, a few weeks or months down the road, she's going to get some money from you. I mean, this is a highly unlikely scenario. So by just going on basic dates, you can pretty much eliminate this worry. Some guys might say, you know what, I don't care if the girl is genuinely interested in me. I just offered a dinner date and then I get laid. Yeah, it makes sense. But then why not go directly to a happy ending massage? If whether or not the girl likes you doesn't matter to you. The guys who are against paying for fun usually say they don't like it because there is no real attraction. The girl doesn't really like them, she's just doing it for the money. Yes, but if you're offering a fancy dinner date and it's impossible to know if the girl really likes you or is just showing up because of the date, how is that significantly different than just paying her directly? Number 3. Fancy dates and prostitution. The lines are blurry. We have established that the fancier the date you offer, the more girls will be willing to meet you. Also, the hotter girls will be interested to meet up with you. You know what else gets you more hot girls? Offering money. This is precisely where the line between a date with a normal girl and paying a girl becomes incredibly blurry. I mean, at what point is it a scenario where basically you're paying the girl in an indirect way? If she's meeting and hooking up with you because of the date itself, how does that differ from straight up paying her for a service? Again, I have no answer for this question, which is why I prefer to take the shortcut of simply going on basic dates where such issues don't exist. And number 4, high investment equals high expectations. The final aspect has to do with expectations. The more you invest, the higher your expectations. Knowing that you have invested a lot might create a very strong attachment to the outcome even to the point where you don't enjoy the experience anymore. Now imagine treating a girl to a fancy dinner and then not getting laid. It would feel like a total disappointment and waste of money. Or even if you get laid, it can feel like you have only gotten what was expected, and as such, it was not exciting. Compare this with a very, very basic date. You don't put in much effort, no money, and your expectations are kind of like low or whatever. Anything that happens is exciting. Now to sum up, I like basic dates. I'm not against paying for dates. It is just that when you do it, the dynamic becomes more complex and it's hard to figure out the girl's true motive. Of course, when you're in Thailand, a fancy dinner date doesn't actually cost a lot of money, but that's not the point. Paying for a sexual service also doesn't cost a lot of money, but guys won't do it because they argue that the girl doesn't like them. So again, I'm raising the question, how is a fancy dinner date where it's kind of unclear what the girl's motivation is any different? Let me hear your thoughts.